Yeah, what the hell? Alright, let's lock. Chat. Let's lock the fuck in. Let's get it. Alright. Ooh, okay. Interesting break from Toronto. It doesn't work, but I respect the effort. So, I've studied Toronto quite a bit this year, right? And they have a break which I kind of like, where the first guy, so based on where you spawn, whoever is the first guy is literally running straight through, challenging closed, and then they'll double chow cat like this, and then the last guy is just waiting to like late pinch to take team fights. So I like their breaks. Normally Toronto have like really creative break-offs, which I do appreciate. They changed it up here though. Hey, what's up, Speedy? How you doing, fella? Let's try here. It doesn't work in this case. Interesting. I think this was the map where Gwyn was like 45 and fucking 7. Right. Okay. Right, look at 6. You hate Toby's play? What does Toby do here? So Toby is he Charles P2? Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. They could have made him irrelevant. Yeah, no, I agree. So right here, I understand. I get why Toby's playing him. But I think once he gets him weak here, I'm assuming he gets bullets into him. I think you just leave him and we ape time because Joe's made the kill. It's at most, it's going to be a 3 versus 2 in Hill because you don't know where this guy is. But I also want to say I'm a bit in a weird spot that the fact that like it shouldn't be this easy for Joe to kill the guy P3. Nor should I think if Austin's gonna play out here, there has to be some sort of like pressure with him. So the way setups work here, chat, is so Carolina play this fantastically for the first wave, right? They do a very good job here, right? They do a fantastic job here where Austin uses his free life. He's pushing out. He's going to be taking Charles. Teams like LAT, what they do fantastically is when you are in a setup and when you know exactly where they're coming from, and I keep on repeating myself, you know where they're coming from, you know the timings, you know who you're looking for. Slasher's in a position where he's dragging people away. So what they need to do, in my opinion, is they need to have a hive mind. If Slasher is bumped out pool, 7 needs to be in a position where he can help take Charles aggressively. These are the situations where you let the game come to you, and once you know and once you have specific information, you take the fights together. 5, I feel like 5 could have done I don't think 5 should have pushed it out. I think 5 should have played more of a cred, let the game come to you. Because what they're doing, essentially, is when you push out P3 and you've pushed out P2, you're essentially in a spot to double scam, where you have to be very careful in a setup double scamming. I keep telling you guys, in order to make your free life useful, everyone else has to play safety net positions. And I think right here, Tej does a good job picking up P3, but recognize he doesn't have the timing to push out. This is where they can then play almost tight. 7 can help this, he can pick this, and then depending on where the last guy spawns, will tell you exactly what this guy's doing, right? And then the last guy can then watch the repinch if necessary, or refill where necessary. So right here, Slasher does a very, very good job of staying alive. He's taking Charles, but then I wouldn't mind 7, hell, playing kind of aggressive for that. If needed, I'm not even opposed to 5 bumping out 7 to take Charles with 6. 5 can then pick up P3 from here, and then wherever the last guy is can then refill where necessary. I wouldn't even be opposed to that, to be honest with you, from like a hindsight perspective. And then now you're in a position which makes Gwyn tweak. If Gwyn kept on holding that and Tej stays alive, that guy's dead. Gwyn can then be in a position where he can help Austin. They can then push out and flip him based on where he's spawning. Probably like here, if 8's doing that.
You lose the opening break, but he makes sure his hang back, keep you away from the time, and his teammates spawn up. So great opening break from Carolina, but not for
Oh, they salvage it. Right, 25 seconds left here, chat. Nice, good trades. Okay. So, let's watch this. This, yeah. Alright, chat. My first question to you guys, very simple, is what do you think is good about what Carolina have done here? So in this situation here. So let's watch this situation here. What is good about what Carolina are doing? It may not have worked optimally, but what do you guys think was good from here? So let's watch it. That was good, Jiren. Seven took her out. That. So the specific play itself, I'm not too worried about. But yeah, you guys are right. We're keeping it stupid simple. Less than 20 seconds left on the wave. They're trying hive mind. They're trying to force a flip, and they do a solid job of trying to get through. Now, where I would argue for a change is right here, chat. Where I would argue for kind of late to flip. No, I don't think it's kind of late to flip. Now, where I would provide feedback, in my opinion, is what does 5 have here? Chat, what does 5 have right there? What is this called? Good answer, but not a hybrid. What? Not a free life, not a pinch. What do I call it? He has what? So remember the time here. So there's no free life because they don't... In this situation, the free life is not really applicable because they're trying to flip spawns, right? What do they have right here? What does Teach have? It starts with a P. Now let's think situational here. Progression. Very good, Metis. Not a power position here, Flow Vengeance, but yes, he has progression. And you're going to see this in my video coming out this week. TJ does a very, very, very good job of getting out, holding progression to allow his teammates to get to him to use it. What's good, Spartan? Right? He is correct, Speedy. He is the biggest kill on the map for Toronto. The reason for this is because he is hard blocking all of these spawn points here. Like a spawn point here. He's in a position where he is forcing a flip. Now, my feedback here would be is when you have progression, you need to use it. So 7 should be bumping out 6, 8 should be bumping out 7 to be taking these childs. This is a situation, minimap aside, hindsight aside, this is a situation, what's good, Alibi? This is a situation where you have to play to trade, keep it stupid simple, and do what? What do they have to do here? There's two things. One is an emote, and one is a word. What do they need to do? Especially when they're in, essentially, a 3v3, soon to be 4v3, in a disadvantageous position. What do you think here, chat? Ape. Alright, if you've got the emotes, I want you guys spamming that shit. Yeah. But why? So why in this situation? So if ape is the first thing, why are we trying to ape? What is the concept? What is the fundamental we're trying to preach here? What are they trying to do in order to flip? Anyone can answer. Get the trades. At the end of the day, Hardpoint in particular is about where can you get the trades in order to make a situation you're in advantageous for you. Right here, actually, Carolina aren't in a too difficult of a situation because they've made that first kill, because Jamie has died, right? If they aped out together, and even if Joe kills, let's say, Austin challenging, Tej is in that position. What's good, Master? How you doing, brother? Then 7 can rebump. Right here, I am not a fan of this. Chat, why am I not a fan of that? Why do you think I'm not necessarily a fan of this? It's too long of a route. Yes. I think right here, this is a very good route to take when 5 is already dead. If 5 is dead, it's a fantastic route to take. However, since 5 is still alive and 5 has progression, 6 needs to play faster to help keep it simple, keep it trade, and then 7 can then... Hell, 7 could even do this if he wanted, because it's still a slightly quicker route to get into the plays. My message in here, core point, is you have progression. Let's make sure we're using it. Let's keep it stupid simple. Make sure we're playing the trades and at pace together, and then you can be in a situation where you flip them out, and you have some element of control. So right here, chat. I'm good, Master. Thank you for asking. I'm good. So right here, imagine Austin was already here. Because Slasher knows where they're spawning. When he knows where they're spawning, he's obviously gonna know via process of elimination and anticipation where they're potentially gonna be. He knows the timings. He's getting the information off Tej. He could be camera, like playing to camera, being ready, centered on this guy to kill him, while Tej is doing this, and then 7's behind. This would have been faster, this would have been quicker, and then this would have been a really, really good flip from Carolina. But then he gets cameraed and taken out. Okay, Gwyn. Alright. So right here. I don't mind this. Okay. Okay, chat. Right here, in this situation, Gwyn bailout. Right. Okay. Let me talk about this, right, chat. So right here, I really don't mind Gwyn's play. I don't mind Gwyn's play here, right? Because he gets through, he's got progression, he's waiting for a teammate. You could argue he can wait a second longer, but that is nitpicking. I don't really care, right? He dies, whatever. Why do you think I like Dylan Rex's play here? Explain to me why you think I like Dylan Rex's play here. Right here. Chat, someone explain to me from a flow perspective why what this guy is doing is good. If you guys, for my regulars in the chat, explain to me why that's good.
So they'll have that initial, obviously those purple arrows are swarming. We're going to get this set up before we try and secure. Here comes the next 2, 4B, steps up to the plate, can't take care of one, but on damage in here. Keep the spree going, can ya? He's got another player to contend with on the inside, me on the outside.
Okay, he's preventing them from taking back spawns by not dying, cutting the lane to set up a natural break. He's the first man up, filling the lanes as his teammates come off spawn. He's blocking and can call out if they come in front. I don't know if you've already been asking, but for... no, I'm already gone. Hybrid between blocking spawn and holding cross. Okay, so this was a very, very good route. So what Dylan is doing here, and I want to give him props for this, is he's playing the game ahead. This is what we call situational awareness, chat. When you guys are playing in ranked, I want you guys from the prior wave understand what information you have to paint a picture. All good, Master, appreciate you. To paint a picture, right? So right here, Dylan Rex knows that they have P2 control with Beans at the very least, and they have this side of the map. Because if teammates had to take the route trying to have the time to cross, can give info. Good, Kez. Yep. So right here from a player perspective, chat, Dylan knows, right, they have P2 rotation. He could if he wanted to, on his own, bully through and try and take the 1. But that is an issue, chat, because he doesn't have the numbers in order to fight Beans, because he should know via process of elimination and anticipation that they're going to have pool. Where exactly pool, he's not going to know, right? But he has a good idea that they're going to have pool control in some capacity. So if Dylan Rex tries to take a Chal here and force it, he's just in essentially a 3 versus 1, right? And this is where you have the differences in pro card versus everything else. Is he's thinking one step ahead. He's thinking, right, they have P2 control, we need to break. My teammate is taking the route. He's the first guy in this conveyor belt, right? So what he's trying to do is we have what we call progression spots. On every single hill, when it comes to breaking, there are certain areas of the map that you want to control. What's good, Brighty? There are certain areas of the map you want to control in order to give your teammates progression, in order to play, to get kills, to help do something, right? But then also it gives you the ability to take a number of lanes to spread the defense. So Dylan Rex is trying to play to control this. He recognizes, right, they've got no kills. So he's playing for a scam here in any of these locations to try and get truck control, right? 6 has done a good job playing to pinch. Now what they should do is, and this is what Texas are very, very good at, especially when it comes to breaking P2, is unless you've made kills, you want to try and play to go round. You want to try and play to neutralize these guys. Why, chat, why is that? If you've made 0 kills, and you know the enemies have pool control, they have cat control and this control, why is it important to go around and neutralize that first? Let's ignore 6's here for a moment. He's not here, right? Why is it important you want to play for these guys first? Kez, you're not allowed to answer anymore. You are banned from answering. To relieve pressure, okay. But for my newer viewers in here, explain to me from a micro perspective, micro meaning from a gunfight and positioning perspective, what do these guys have off spawn? Let's say they spawn in here if you're here, right? Let's say they spawn in here, right? While you have this control. So the first wave has no power over the hill. All of cat is a power position. Keep going. Give me some more answers here, chat. What does Toronto have here coming off spawn? What do they have? Think about it. Numbers, good, but I want you guys thinking about it as though you've loaded into the map. So put yourself in, let's say put yourself in Joe Deceives' shoes, right? You've got an AR. What can you do with your assault rifle when you're coming from that side of the map? To relieve pressure from the spammers in order to break. If you kill the reinforcements, you can use the numbers to swarm time. Iron up. Watch over hill. Good answers, good answers, good answers. Any more answers, chat? Come on, newer viewers, get involved. What can they do? What can 2 do? What can 4 do from these positions while they have hill? Information about where the enemies are. Good. So, fantastic answers. Yes, you guys have to realize, for example, with P2, is based on where you're spawning, based on your positioning, based on what you need to fill, you can watch the lanes that enemies need to cross to hill from so far back. This is a very punishing position, meaning Toronto don't need to push up so far on the map to help time. Look at 2. 2 has an AR here, I'm assuming, right? He's pulled out an AR. He can help the back of the hill from here. He can help the back of the hill from here. He can help the back of the hill from here. They can watch the crosses from these locations without risking pushing forward. If they drop their controllers here, chat, then they can still secure time and they're still in positions to help the time without being so overly aggressive. The reason why Carolina have to now think ahead is if they start running forward like this, these guys are in power positions where all they need to do is watch one lane. That's all they're doing. And then they can team fight and funnel you one way. Sure. Okay, sure. Let's say 8 does this and he kills Beans in the hill. Well, he's going to get traded. He's going to trade him. He's going to push through and trade him, right? So, it's about, this is what we call situational awareness, chat. And this is what I want you guys to think about in ranked or when you're scrimming next time. The more you play, the more you will understand with the information that you get when you're reading the game, what positions and where the enemies are coming from. This is an element of prediction. When you're predicting what the enemies have, you're predicting their setups, so you can then play off that. If you know, hey, I'm predicting this team to have full P2 control and they spawn in here, therefore they're going to be playing these common spots, you can start playing one step ahead. And so that is why here, Dylan Rex will play for the progression spot here. Where personally, my feedback would have been, is instead of 5 and 7 doing this, they're not trusting the flow here. I think 5 should have done this and 7 should have done this. 7 can play here and shoulder to keep him honest. 5 and 7, 5 would have had a better timing to kill 4. 6 is making a pinch. That's how they would have broke and potentially spawned him either mid based on where this guy is, if he's like around here, or back lion based on if he's like here, like here. And I think right here is them not trusting the flow. So even right here, chat, my question to you, for you guys watching, just keep watching this clip. What do you guys think I don't like about what just happened here? Yeah, very good reads from Joe. But, and Kez, I don't want you answering this. What do you think I don't like about what just happened here? What is it, for my regular viewers, what is it called? It's hesitation. Yes, good. What is this called? What are they not doing? What do we call it? What do I call it for my regular viewers out here? Yes, Danny. Very good answer. So chat, this is what I call trusting the flow. You know, you see some of your pro players, they've talked about it a lot on stream. This is the conveyor belt system, right? Based on where you are in that order, determines what lanes you pick up because that gives you the best timing possible. So right here, there's a hesitation. First of all, 7 shouldn't be the one doing this. It should have been 5 because 5 had spawned up before. 5 had spawned up before 7 has. Right, so therefore it's 5's responsibility from a timing perspective to take this route with 8. But what makes me very uncomfortable right here, chat, is then Teach does a good job of baiting number 1, but then he hesitates. He's going back and forth. It seems like they're not sure what they want to do from a game plan perspective, right? I would rather at that point he commits with 7 to do this. So 5 can either trade 8, whatever, and then turn around. They're not trusting the flow, chat. And the reason why trusting the flow is so important is when you are your phases and your LATs and your Texases, when you trust the flow and you trust the game plan, you're doing things with pace. You're playing efficient. You're playing to control certain sides of the map and you're doing it fast. When you do things fast, but you do things together, that is one of the best ways of breaking a setup because teams don't have time to react. This is what we call pacing. By understanding when to play fast versus when to play slow, you can really throw teams off. So right here, by trusting the flow, by understanding the situation they were in, they could have played very fast because they know what to do from a flow perspective, and it would have given Toronto less time to then read what they're doing to then punish them. They could have, yes, absolutely, absolutely. They could have doubled here. I don't like that. I prefer they did this, and then Austin on the pinch, and then the last guy's doing this. Hell, Tej could have even done this. I don't even care. I just think right there they should have trusted the flow. Trusting the flow is a big one. Okay, let's look at Toronto's perspective.
So Beans can continue to play the exact same game while Kleenex gets to be that roaming slayer. So again, Toronto, it was a slow opening break. They keep things under control. Now you're setting up for the kill. They already have the lead. Beans
yeah, I mean, let's look at how Toronto have held this. So 2 spawns on the point, so they know they're gonna be both sides at the very least. Or they're at least gonna call it out. Okay, Gwyn gets 1. Ah. Now they're just losing their gunnies. You could maybe you could argue in a 4 versus 3 here. I mean, I don't mind necessarily the funnel. I think when you're in a 4v3 here, I don't even mind if Rex is just going. If Rex is literally just going to drag aim assist, so 7 and 6 can do something. Because what happens right here is, I know Rex is potentially going to die from beans, but like, it gives you that chance for these 2 guys behind to like do something at the very least. You know? It's a bit nitpicky, but you could argue that. Okay, but what do you think I like about how Toronto played it here? What do you think I like about how Toronto played it right here? Hang on, let me change this a bit. Shit. Okay, I end up tight crossfire setup. I end up in team fighting. So why is that good? Why is the crossfire setup good, and why is team fighting good? And how and so tell me, chat. I want you to tell me why it's good, but then I also want you to tell me when you would apply it. Beam them when they enter, okay. But when is it good to do? They let the game come to them. Very good, very good. Okay. So, in what situations would you try and set up a crossfire? When is the most ideal situation? Kez, you're not allowed to answer. When do we want to do it? It's good to do when you have, but what? But alibi. What specifically though? Yes, dystopic. Very, very, very good answer. So, this goes hand in hand with the free life usage, right? Is once you know, based on the information that you get, based on the specific information that you get, once you know exactly where they're coming from, you can set up crossfires because you know exactly what routes, or you're predicting what routes they're going to take and the timings of such routes, right? The reason why you don't necessarily want to do it every single time is without specific information, you're like increasing the probability of someone ironing nothing, right? Of them not being involved in the play. So it's very important, and it's very you utilize it to its advantage when you know exactly where they're coming from, and the timings of a break, as an example. This is another so credit to Hagi for this word, but this is another form of angle responsibility. Like, you know what your teammate has, your responsibility is going to be a different lane in order to promote that crossfire, in order to get that information. You always want to try and bounce that out. So like, he's continuously watching this for insight to be watching this. Now you're setting up for the kill. They already have the lead. Beans continues to prowl Very good hold from Toronto, and good job from them team shooting here. Okay, let's see how they play this. 19 seconds left, 18.
They might got to walk away with a tiny bit of scrap, but at this point in time, it is all ultra so far on P2. Going over to the third. Ravens in position here to get some opening time. And you just got to appreciate.
Right, let's see how they play this. Are they gonna try and play to flip instantly?
On their time, nice and comfortable, and plenty of space on the rotation. Joe DeCease might get cut down and carry
Yeah, so Toronto are playing to try and flip them out instantly, which it's a difficult one.
But for now, it's towards the hard point. The Ravens got themselves a foothold, but with all these bodies so close, not a huge amount of kills. Rex through the middle, traded out over to Gwyn. Keeps his kills going. Slash
I mean, fair enough.
power position shift. Ultra with the advantage. Yeah, and again, Slasher was talking about how they just don't want to make the stupid mistakes. He was ready for that gunfight for 20 seconds and gets gunned to bed in one of the most important on the map. And now it's a P3 where you're opening.
Now, this is a bit of a weird situation, because I really do understand from Toronto's perspective, like, why they're playing for why they're playing to flip. But like the entire time, Carolina are soaking, right? They're playing to go around and get spawns. I appreciate you, Brady. They're playing round to get spawns. But like, Carolina are soaking the entire time. And the issue with this is look what happens here. Right, they still have time. Appreciate you all too. Big fan of you. Right, look, they still have time, but then look at this. Once they make this kill, right? He still spawns out. So not only are we then giving them basically 30 seconds, chat. We've basically given them 30, but I'd say about 25 seconds, right? They've got like 20 seconds, 25 seconds, whatever. But now they're in a position where one person has spawned out. So where's he going to spawn? He spawns parallel. But then if they were quick enough and they recognize this, they could run forward, force trades, spawn them behind, either cause parallels, or because you've made kills, you'll get like a lucky spawn in. It's a really, really tough situation, that one.
Don't let the enemy team get any time. Keep your main eye on that left-hand side of the minimap. That's where 1 and 2 are. That's going to be Beans and Joe prowling the halls.
Nice. You see what I'm saying, chat? Are you, like, do you see what I'm saying with this P3? Is sometimes it is a risk to try and play so hard for the P4 rotation so early on, when it is so easy if you make the kills, like truthfully with any hill, to flip them. If you make kills, get your mass somewhere and run forward. Like right here, they've spawned 2 people out. And now it's a 4 versus 2. And they could just run forward and clear the common spots to try and get through. Now Beans is going to be huge here. And he is. But then there's timings open for 6 and 5. And then so what happens is, chat, so they end up playing for spawns on the initial of P3. They end up getting them. They give away 25 seconds. And then Gwyn is still spawning at the back anyway. Right? If they win their gunfights here, then this is a really, really sticky situation for Toronto. And there you go. So let me see this here. So Gwyn. Nice.
Beans on the back line once again. Keeping things as safe and sound as he possibly can there for the Toronto boys. But still, so many Ravens on the inside of time.
Okay.
That's great from Beans, just to sort of be heads up about the players in the back. The longer he lives, if his teammates
so
as safe and sound as he possibly can there for the Toronto boys.
All right, chat. Another question for you guys. So look at Carolina's perspective. So that was going to be one more thing, right? So I want you guys to look at it from Carolina's perspective. What do you think is good about Carolina? Do you think P3 is better to just soak from either side than try and play the wave by wave and then push out? I prefer, and so this is what I prefer, and stats back this up from the entire year, where teams get success on P3 for the first 30 seconds is on the gun side. Teams who are successful on P3 soak the time from gun, but then teams who have the highest chain percentage from 3 to 4. They soak it from gun and then use that last 30 seconds to flip because it is so easy to flip. So let's go back on this. So from Carolina's perspective, what do you think is good about this? So Carolina can funnel the 3 from Toronto because they know Beans is solo in the back and they have split spawns. Carolina have better timings to trade and have more progression than Ultra, funneling Ultra in one lane. Now, I want you guys to think of it. I want you guys to put yourself in TJ's shoes, right? I want you to think like a pro. Why is TJ not just doing this? Why is he not just doing this? I've seen this quite a bit, even in ranked, right? Why has TJ not decided to run forward and get towards the time? Crossfire, okay. Because there's only one in the back and you can cut the other 3 spawners. He'll be crossing no man's land but can cut off the cross as well. 2v1 on hill already. Good. This is situational awareness. Sometimes when you're in positions like this, when you get spawns like this, you have the ability to take yourself out of the game. Thank you, Jordan, for the raid. Appreciate it, brother. You could take yourself out of the game. He knows, based on either his comms and where he's spawning and where he's certainly where he's spawning, that they're getting parallels. Right? Yes, good answer. Right. So what he's doing, this is what we call trust, chat. This is where you have an element of trust. This is where he recognizes, right, in this situation, we are in a 2 versus 1. I am going to trust my teammates to play for this. What he's going to do is he is going to, because he's predicting where Toronto is spawning, and then it's being re-emphasized with the information gathered from his spawn, that yes, they are going to be poolside, right? So he is going to play a position that is going to cut this, where he can either stun, nade, and take a chow. When you know exactly where people are spawning, you know or have a general idea from a timing perspective of how long it takes, and you predict what routes they're going to take, you can put yourself in the best position possible to try and get that first kill. He is trusting, he is doing it. This is what we call 25%. This is an example of Tej doing his 25%. Now, it may not work out in the end, but the idea is there. Tej is doing his 25% in order to set up the game for these two. 6 is then going to reinforce where necessary and refill where necessary, right? This is trust. This is what trust looks like. I appreciate you, JT. He dies, but he slowed him down. Now, you could maybe even argue that instead of Austin doing this, Austin could take the QRP towards time. You could debate that, right? To then help, because now we know exactly what his spawn is saying and where they're coming from. He can help reinforce that again. In my opinion, I think this is a good death. I think this would also be a very good death if Slasher is keeping it simple and refilling off that, because there's no from a timing perspective, I think like getting here if Tej dies and just taking the same fights is more important for the trades and for the team shot. You're gonna still keep him spawning out this topic. You're still going to, with Tej's position, like with your still being here and flowing this way, you're still going to spawn him here, as long as we're hard blocking the back. That's not gonna change. So they would still spawn them pool. Now, how close would be based on how far they pushed up on that side. Yeah, agreed. I think I understand Slash's play here. I just think in these moments, you keep it stupid simple. Be like, all right, we know where they're coming from. We're playing to trade. We're playing to fight. This game, from like an intellectual standpoint or from like an IQ standpoint, is not the highest it's been compared to previous CODs. This COD is a really keep it stupid simple, get your brain and put it in the bin type of COD. 6, just follow 5, take the same place, same Charles, do it together. Thank you, Razor, for the prime. I appreciate you, my boy. Thank you so much. Enjoy the emotes. I want to see you spamming that shit in every stream you go to. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. It's like right here, he fucks over his own timings. So right here, can you imagine if Slasher was probably here? He may not have killed this guy, but he's taking Charles and stunning and nading at least, at the very least, to then help 8, in my opinion.
About the players in the back. The longer he lives, if his teammates get the kills, it's going to be the spawn out, and already number 5 going to be across the map. Now you hit the go button. Set up for the go.
And then they spawn at the back. Oh, good plays from Slasher at least though for getting in the fight, but it could have been a lot more cleaner. Wow. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Chat. This is an easy one. What do you think is good about what Toronto are doing here? What is good about what Toronto have done? What do you guys think? So let's watch this here, chat. Let's keep watching. What is good about this? By the way, the fact that you can still spawn there is insane. I get it, but Jesus.
This is a minute and a half burned off the game clock already. Joe Deceives good for 2 in the back, but nonetheless, it's still Carolina inside of the time. And that might not be a money hill P4, but all things finds a couple of kills.
What is this called? What is good about Toronto? So, chat, focus. I want you to focus on Toronto's perspective. Let's focus on Toronto's minimap, right? What is good that you see here? Blocked all 3 of the quadrants and only yeah. No. I know that. I just think I just hate it. But that aside, what is good from Toronto from here? In this situation. Think about it from a situational perspective. What is good? What is good about this? What is the objective right now? I'm not Carolina. I'm not talking about Carolina. I'm talking about Toronto. Specifically, Big Man Joe. Not aping. What is good about what Joe does? Blocking the back, good. What else is he doing? Simple. Playing his life. What's good, JG? Yes. So, chat, right here, what is the situation? The situation is Carolina, you can't see the kill feed, but Carolina have made 3 kills. Right? They've made 3 kills. 1, 2, 3. Joe is in a 3 versus 1. If this was ranked, if this was Crimson or Iridescent ranked, I promise you that guy in the back is banging. He is taking Charles somewhere. He is going to try and trade and get as many kills as he can. Well, the problem with that is this is what we call a hero play. This is doing too much. This is not thinking about the game from a macro perspective. This is not, say if this was ranked, this is not doing your 25%. Right, so right here, chat, the fact that Joe understands his positioning, Joe understands at this moment in time, he is the only one alive. He's the only one in a position to block spawns. He's also dragging people away. He's dragging them away. Right? They have to kill him. They have to kill him because Joe is potentially in a position where he could block all these spawns at the back. For example, here, there's a spawn here, whatever, right? So, by him staying alive, by him valuing his life, by him not doing anything, yeah, sure, he's not getting kills and deaths in the scoreboard, but he is being so impactful because from a chessboard macro perspective, they all have to come back and look for him and clear him. Now, when they all have to come back and clear for him, it opens up timings based on wherever they spawn for Toronto to get back into the play. If Joe takes a challenge and dies, that's free reign for him, and the guy that spawns up here to then look forward and apply pressure on the map. Sometimes when you're the last guy and recognizing you are the last guy, it is important you play your life in order to set up the next wave and the next play. This is what we call not doing too much. So look at that. 1, 2, 3. He gets a 2. And then this guy, look at it, chat, right? This guy is tweaking about the back instead of watching his front to play for 3. This guy is playing for the back instead of tweaking about the front to play for 1. You know? That is why playing your life and understanding when to play your life is very important. And that's one of the biggest improvement points for like pro players compared to everyone else is pro players know from a chessboard and macro perspective like when to play their life to set the team up versus when do they throw away their lives to set the team up. Right here, if Joe throws away his life, he's not setting the team up. But now that they have numbers, you see the difference right here, chat. So he gets 2, he plays his life. Now, this is the difference between staying alive versus not staying alive. Now, he's setting his team up in a different way. He's setting his team up because now they're in a 3 versus 1 and he can play for the trades. Right? Yes, tomorrow will be SMGs. So, chat, do you understand the difference between setting your team up by playing your life versus setting your team up with throwing away your life? Joe has showed you in the span of 30 seconds how you can set your team up in 2 different ways.
That might not be a money hill P4, but all things considered, since Ultra were there first, I think Carolina happy. You can
very, very good from Joe.
First set of rotations, only a 15-point game. Not an easy thing to do whatsoever. Ravens back at it. Here we go into the second set of hard points. A wild stat line there from Beans at 12 and 5. 13 11 alongside Joe. Rough looks on.
Okay, let's see how they play this P1.
He has been the man for the Ravens in the kills department. The rest of the squad pulling forward as well. And we're just going back towards the comfortability. There is not a ton of pace being.
Wow, okay, let's see this break.
He has been the man. 13 11 alongside Joe. Rough looks.
What is Beans looking for? He is denying. So right here, he knows one's here. He's looking for these 2. He doesn't. He has 0 info on him and 0 info on him. He's expecting, from a flow perspective, to be someone like picking this up, at least refilling it. So Ben is playing for someone that's like, yo, is anybody gonna refill this side? He doesn't know 8's done this, and there's 0 info on 5. So he's playing for that. So like he's playing for he's expecting 8 to be here to refill here.
Only a 15-point game. Not an easy thing to do whatsoever. Ravens back at it. Here we go into the second set of hard points. A wild stat line there from Beans at 12 and 5. 13,
okay.
11 alongside
So
looks on the
right here, chat.
He has been the man for the Ravens in the.
What do you think I like about Toronto's break here?
We're just going back towards the comfortability.
Okay, another question for you guys, chat. What is good about the way Toronto have broken here? And to give you guys a tip, it stems from here. What do you guys notice when you watch this clip? What do you see here, chat?
For the Ravens in the kills department. The rest of the squad pulling forward as well. And we're just going back towards the
What do you notice? This one is an easy one here, chat. What do we? Okay, give me. So that's a good answer, right? That's a very good answer. I want more specifics from a fundamental perspective. Give me more specifics. 2 wait and goes in when Beans takes a fight. Good. Okay. So that was the second answer I wanted, but let's go even before then. What is 2 doing here, chat? What is 2 doing? What do you see here, chat? What is 2 done here? Right here. Yes! Yes, Alibi. Fuck yes. That is the answer that I wanted. So, when you look at it from this perspective, chat, this is what we call pacing on a break. Right? So, Toby was top cat. Toby was top cat right here. Right? He understood, okay, they're potentially going to have P1 control. 2 of my teammates died. It's potentially a 4 versus 2. So, he's thinking in his head, right, I am the first guy on this break, so I'm going to be taking a route to set up that break, to initiate that break, right? And this is in combination of Ben doing a fucking Beans is doing a fantastic job of playing his life while Toby is taking a long route or a complementary route that Beans can help with. So Beans is opening up a timing for number 2 to hit a break. This break, right? So from Beans' perspective, this break could have been horrible. If this was ranked, for example, if he runs in like this, number 8 has the advantage because he's holding an off angle. He's holding a good hybrid spot or a good power position to play his guarantee. 1 is going to be dead, which then 2 doesn't have the ability to make a play. 2 can't make that play, right? Number 2, or Joe Deceive's playmaking ability is set up by the fact that Beans is playing his life and he's understanding from a pacing perspective that he needs to open up a timing for that play to happen. He can't full hard commit, run forward and die for then number 2 to not make the play. And the reason why Beans doesn't run through in the first place is because, chat, he's using anticipation to understand, right, Carolina have P1. I can't take that fight. I'm going to have to wait and set up my teammate for him to set me up. By Beans staying alive is setting up number 2 to make the play to then set up number 1. So they're both setting each other up. You know, if you've ever played a game called It Takes Two, right? It's a game where It Takes Two is a split screen game where you both have to do puzzles and challenges to set each other up and get through the level. This right here is an It Takes Two type of chow. This is, I'm going to set you up, Joe Deceives, to make the play because I'm dragging people away. But then once you take that complementary route and you take that timing, you're setting me up to then help you. It takes two.
For the Ravens in the kills department, the rest of the squad pulling forward. And we're just going back towards the comfortability. There is not a ton of pace being applied, at least not by the AR players of Ultra. The SMGs able to pierce through and get the P1 time secured.
Okay.
We saw the P2 is actually the money hill for the Ultra squad, and right now they're just sitting here soaking up on the P1 kills.
I love that. So, hey chat, what do you think I like about what Beans is doing here? What do you think is so good about what he's doing? What do you think is good about what he's doing, and what does he have the option to do? Hey, what's good, Coping? How you doing, fella? Coping, you can answer this. Since you're in here, you can answer, right? Coping, what do you think is good about what Beans is doing, and what do you think is good about what 4 is doing? There's no, feel free if you don't know, just to give me an answer. I'll explain it anyway. What do we think here? Beans is holding for the rotation through P3, and the other is holding his cross. I see the vision, but not necessarily. Chat, what do we think? Come on, chat, where you guys at? Everyone else, what do you reckon? L2, dystopic, alibi, gridlock. What do you guys reckon? Come on, this one's easy. JG, Apollo, Metis. What do you guys reckon? This one should be easy for my regulars here. Holding an iron, watching 2's back, and allowing 4 to watch his cross from Cat. So, good answer. Okay. Keep presence P2 side of the map on blocking ammo, letting the game come to them. Yes. If you guys have been watching, playing a hybrid spot, yes, good answers. Alibi, fucking good answer. Metis, good answer. Yeah, very good answer, guys. Okay. Guys, that first P1, this was basically the exact same situation that Carolina were in, except TJ, hey, Copin, I will teach you more. I just need you to sit down. and I need you to interact. That's it. But chat, if you guys remember, this was a similar situation that Carolina were in during the first P1, right? Where Tej ended up running through while Austin had a free life on P2. This is a similar situation. However, CleanX has the free life, and he's the one playing P3. Now, the difference between how Ben is playing it versus how Tej is playing it is when you have hill control, he is letting the game come to him, and he is responsible for two ways. He's making the game easy for number 2. 4 is in a hybrid position where he can help either side based on the info. A hybrid spot is a position or a power position on the map that gives you the ability to help in multiple directions to help a trade. So right here, this is a hybrid spot because you're in a power spot where you can help in either side. If you're here, help in either side. If you're here, help in either side. Technically, anything is a hybrid spot, but usually hybrid spots are power spots. Usually spots that can give you like an overwhelming advantage in winning a gunfight. So right here, Ben Beans is in a hybrid spot because this is a creddy, which can give you a guaranteed kill. He's watching this, he's watching this, or he's watching this, or he's helping this. No, not necessarily. Most of the time, ARs will play hybrid spots, but SMGs can play them. SMG, like, so the spot that Beans is in here, I've seen SMGs play it. SMG's in here. He's in a hybrid spot, so he can help in either like direction right here. So right here, he's letting the game come to him, which then allows him to do whatever he wants for his free life. Now, if 3 killed 7, and 3 can refill, 4 is going to use his free life to take Charles. Right? So you see, that's the distinction between the first rotation versus the second rotation.
P2 is actually the money hill for the Ultra squad, and right now they're just sitting here.
You see here, this is what Beans is doing. So Beans is ready for centered to play for this, but he's playing his guarantee, meaning he's playing to get. Oh shit! He's playing to get that first kill. Playing your guarantee means I'm playing to get my first kill by ironing, basically, by playing a position that can help me get my routine kill or my routine trade. Nice. Very good. Nice, Toby. Alright, chat. So, what do you think, for my regulars, what would you say, what would you think I would want Toby to do here? Right here. Right here, what do you think I'd want Toby to do? Right here. If you're a subscriber, I don't want to see words. If you're a subscriber, I don't want to see words. I just want to see an emote. What should Toby be doing here? My subscribers, I want you spamming that shit. Yeah. 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 What else? There's one more emote you guys could use in this situation. Oh wait, no, actually, do I even have it? Hold on. Yeah, okay, there's one more emote that applies to this situation. What do you guys think it is? Come on, have a look at your emotes. Not the fries. Toby is certainly not going to put the fries in the bag. But there's another emote you guys could use to describe this situation here. Yes, Metis, there we go. Wonderful. Fucking wonderful, mate. Good job. So yeah, so right here, Toby could apply pressure. He could take Charles, kill her, and then yeah, go fuck yourself, cock and balls. Go fuck yourself. Nah, how you doing, brother? I'm good, man. How are you? Yeah, that's fucking crazy, bro. No, but right here, yeah, bump refill block. Yeah, good job. Yeah, this is decent from Toronto. And look at the side of the map that Toronto are playing for, guys. Remember, they're playing for the pool side of the map. They're going to play to get that pushed out. Nice. This is the optimal setup that you want to get in. Look at how deep they're getting them spawning. They're layering, they're bumping, they're trading the most efficient kills. Look, chat, look how far Carolina are spawning. This is why you want to control this side of the map, because you spawn here, refill where is needed, get them spawning in Africa, and you refill and bump wherever you think the pressure's coming from. Yep, let the kills come to you. Look how he's playing it. Yes, Kleenex got some fantastic info, but this is my point, chat. Right? So this is what I wanna stress. Let's look at the time, right? So it's 91 to 69. Nice, right? So let's go to the end of P2. So how do you determine a free life? The way that you determine a free life is by getting a clean wave. And I'll show you an example on this P2, okay? So look at it right here, chat. 141 to 69. This is 50 seconds on the clock. This P2 is the perfect example from Toronto, showing you why controlling certain sides of the map gives you the ability to layer. You bump, refill, block, and once you trade out the most efficient kills, you're soaking the time the entire way. So right here, let's look at it from a mini-map perspective, okay? And this is what I keep on preaching, is as long as you have this blocked, you can push this out, because what happens is it spawns him deep, right? Look at number 2. He has a free life in order to do whatever he wants. The reason why 2 has a free life is because they've made a clean wave. The other 3 players are going to play safety net positions, meaning safety net position meaning that they can either play a guarantee or it buys time so they don't die super quick. Safety net positions can be hybrid spots, power spots, right? Just in order to not double scam. They then get them spawning deep. They force them to go round, and every time they die using that free life, they spawn close to then refill based on that specific information to then do it again. And so this is 50 seconds left of a P2. This is how perfect they're playing it, right? Look at number 2. Number 2, this is a situation, chat, where playing your life in number 2's position is very bad. It's counterproductive. Because what Joe is doing is he has the ability or the free life to take challenges and take fights, catch people sprinting. Because if he dies, he's going to spawn close anyway. Right? He is getting kills, and most importantly, he's getting specific information. He knows exactly where people are going to be to then make it easy for these guys to make a decision based off that. And then look what happens here, chat. Right, so this is 48 seconds, 47 seconds. He's using his free life. He's spawning close anyway to refill wherever the pressure is going to be coming from based on his info. He's still using his free life. He's taking Charles. He dies. Once he dies, he's got specific information on him and him at the very least. They're now refilling in where required. Bump, refill, block. They will then get to their spots first. They will play their good spots to help trade wherever the pressure is coming from. And the entire time this is happening, they're soaking time. Toronto have got the first 20 seconds off one wave. Now look at how they refill. Good positions. Still refilling good spots. Still playing trades towards time. This is efficiency right here. And the entire time they're making kills, they're denying Ravens from pushing up reliably and safely, and they soak in time. So right now they've got 35 seconds from one wave, and this is currently the second wave. This is now the second wave, and it's still not clean for Ravens. And then Joe gets a two-piece, and they just refill through time. Yeah, I know. I know you're only seeing the map. I'm just going through the map right now. Right, and then they refill through time. Look at it. They get a full, basically a full 60 seconds because of bump, refill, and block. Using that free life, this was fantastic from Toronto. Why do I think they dropped beans? I don't know. I really don't know. Honestly, I can't give you an answer. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I was surprised. I was as surprised as you guys.
I mean, listen, the way this P3 is going, we have half the game clock already burned off the clock. Ultra only near 150. This might very well turn.
Maybe they wanna. I don't know. I don't know.
So we're gonna be careful long term. In the short term, the kill feed looks great for Toronto Ultra. Neither team.
All right, chat. Look at how they play this P3 from gun side. They're trying to get mid control first, so your flow is really important.
Gets his safe left-hand side of the minimap though for the Ravens. Yeah, two players for Ravens already going to spawn out. Ultra, this is your time to strike. The timing on that hit that was huge. Oh, Gwyn wins a massive one, stays alive, and the third massive. Last man beam.
Okay, let's see this.
Alive for a second longer, and the spawns are all over the place. Oh, good night. Still close.
This is like such a dodgy thing about trying to like prioritize spawns so early.
Left-hand side of the minimap though for the Ravens. Yeah, two players for Ravens already going to spawn out. Ultra, this is your time to strike. The timing on that hit that was huge. Oh, Gwyn wins a massive one, stays alive, and the third massive. Last man beams. He stays alive for a second longer.
Okay.
All over the place.
This is, you see what I'm saying, chat? Like on the P3s, when you try and over prioritize the spawns, at least for the first 30 seconds, you're not getting time, and you're fighting for something that's not getting you time to then get flipped out super early, like anyway.
Close, but Beans behind on the snap, not enough. Yeah, finally gonna drop him. DC Slasher still worried.
Now let's look at Toronto.
He is not looking front. It also two players get a run through for free. Once again, very passive from this Carolina team. Month of preparation for a hard point. This is their moment. Can they stay composed? Full clean it out.
Yeah. Look at number one here, playing his life again. I'm telling you, Joe is so good at understanding when to play his life and when not to. Look at him. Look at him back here, bro. He recognizes the situation he's in, and he's just being a nuisance. This is my point, chat. By staying alive and understand when you need to stay alive, it opens up timings for the rest of your teammates. Damn. Alright, chat. Another question for you guys, chat, is when you're in Toronto's position, they've just broken the hill. Why are they not instantly running forward, chat? Why are they not instantly running forward? What is the reasoning for them basically playing tight? What do you guys reckon? Give me a minute, chat. Alright, what's good, Gloves? Welcome to the stream. Spawn in the back. So that's not the reason why they don't run forward. So my question here for you, Gloves, is even if you spawn in the back, why is he not instantly doing this? Why is 2 not doing this? Why is 1 not doing this? Why is him not doing this? What could the reasoning be for that? Thank you for the Prime, brother. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Thank you. Welcome. Or welcome back, should I say. So they don't scam timings, let the game come to you, as Carolina are going to be making desperation plays as they're down 100 and going to be making scam plays themselves, letting the game come to them. So in this situation, chat, general rule of thumb is once you break a hill, more often than not, you are not going to have the timing or the space to push out instantly more often than not because of the nature of breaking the hills and the routes you take. They're usually based on the timings of the kills and based on your positioning. A lot of times they'll spawn pretty close to the hill as it is, right? Assuming trades go down and whatnot. The reason why you don't want to instantly push out is you guys are correct. They don't have the timings to get space. Timings is understanding how much of the map can I get, how much of the map can I secure without getting caught sprinting, basically. Without getting caught as a free death, right? So right here, this is Toronto playing the wave. When you've just broken a hill, you need to play the wave because more often than not, you don't have the timings to push up and get space. If they push up and get space in this situation, they're going to scam. They're going to die. There's a high likelihood of them not being able to use teamwork and scamming. Now, it doesn't mean you turtle up and you play like fucking pussies, but you understand, okay, I'm going to try and get as much space as I can without the possibility of being in a shit position where I'm either on my own or I'm in a very low percentage gunfight, basically. Look at that. Now, once you get the kills, then you can start exploding and trading and playing fast to get space, as they do right here. This is fantastic work from Toronto Ultra. It's alibi. It's game awareness. It's sometimes when you're playing your ranked, you're so focused on the middle of your screen, you're so focused on your centering, your aim, your movement, you're not taking yourself out of the game to think of it from a top-down perspective. That is situational awareness. Situational awareness is understanding what is going on in the moment. What is your best decision? What do you need to do? Where do you need to position yourself? How do you want to take a chow? Is he one shot? Do I want a chow? Do I want a camera? You know, all these different things you take into that account. And it takes time in order to make that muscle memory or make that decision making fast. You constantly keep working on it.
15-point game after the second set, 120 between these two teams. Not to mention the trades as well. Teamwork on point right now from Ultra. We'll see a look at the assists at the end of this game as well. Bound to be disgusting. 202 to 90 in our third set of hardpoints. And again, that month of preparation, keep in mind, Ultra get to prepare too.
Nice. Okay.
Back to the P1. You're looking at the kill feed in all four players for Toronto. Pulling out the Jackal for this hill.
Yep. Yep. So you'll see teams on P1 now. They will play 4 SMGs. That's what we would do as well. We would use 4 SMGs on Vault Control sometimes, and then 4 SMGs on P1. To try to catch himself some spawns by P2. And he just gets to hang out, and again, let the kills come to you. That's a Jackal. Yep, let the kills come to you. My guy has been watching the locker room, chat. He's been watching the goddamn locker room. Alright, what's going on here? 211 to 96. Toby's making plays, spawning them out. Same situation again, guys. You look at their game plan. Look at the type on the side of the map that they want to try and control. Bro, look at 7. Look at this. Look at this, bro. Look at this. Alright, let's see what routes they're taking. Alright, chat. Okay. My question to you guys, chat, is what is the difference between what you see Toronto doing here versus the first rotation when Carolina were in this situation? What do you notice? From a flow perspective, what are they doing? Right there, chat. This one's easy. What is the difference between now versus how Carolina did it? So, they're playing together for the trades. That is not the difference. Because Carolina tried to do that in the first rotation. Look at the routes that they're taking off spawn. Look at the routes that they're taking and look at who's taking them. What do you guys notice here? What do you notice? Who's doing what? So from Toronto's perspective, what do you notice? Who's done what? Who's done what? Right here. Who's done what? Yes, good. So 2 is the last guy. He's the last guy in the conveyor belt. He's playing for this route. They're taking the longest routes that they can in order to set up the break. They get lucky with this spawn here because of how far pushed up these guys are. He's then got a natural break. He's going to repinch once these 2 make the play. So look at how Insight is playing. He's not making a move until they've set him up right here. If he ends up doing this before they're even ready, he's scamming. Right? Insight is playing for a scam. But most importantly, he's waiting for the play to develop. And in order for the play to develop, these 2 are setting it up with him. He's saying, yo, stay alive. I can break their setup for these 2.
Trophies out for the back corner, but Insight waiting for the reinforcements to roll through. He's got 2 players over towards carpet, but right now, no motion being made. Kleenex gets 2 though.
And now, once they make the kill, once you make that first kill and you have numbers, then you activate right there.
The one-shot call out, and all of a sudden, Gwyn, last man in the hill, and the collapse is there. The break is in, and Ultra continue to fry on P2.
They're in the crusher right now, and Toronto Ultra got their finger on the button. This could be it, folks. 25 seconds to go. 25 points on the clock. You're going to be able to get this one. Ravens have got to contest for a second to force another.
Free life, it's fine. They're going to still spawn close. This is the free life here, chat. And then you refill where you need to. Yes, comms and minimap awareness are very, very important.
It is still Toronto's map. You've got to get a single second win. He does it. Another hard point. Now they can lose.
Alright, let's see how they play this P3. Mid control is important for P3. He's going to play the guy in scrap. Now they're playing for gun control. Do you see that here, chat? Play for the gun side because it's easier to soak from this side.
Miraculous happens, but hey, it's champs. Anything can and will. Beans on the approach for 2. Kleenex on a pinch, and that is going to be map 1.
That was good from Toronto. Very, very, very good map from Toronto. Alright, chat.